So security, the basic components that are there for network security are, the first one is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Always remember one thing when we talk about network, the devices that are connected through a network. Cloud क्या है? Cloud is also a set of interconnected devices. That is what we call it as cloud. हम इसी को cloud बोलते हैं ना. Prabnoor, please come on time. Next time. Is that clear to everybody? 10 मिनट तो इसी में वेस्ट हो जाते हैं, 10-15 मिनट. So I was talking about cloud security. Confidentiality means keeping data and resources hidden. That is confidentiality. Resources hidden and confident. That is the role of confidentiality, and that is must in, we can say, whenever we want to secure any data, it, whether it may be a single device or a number of devices that are connected through a network. And we know that whenever devices are connected through a network and they form some kind of resource sharing, we call it as cloud. So in a way that if the basic components like confidentiality, integrity, or availability, if they are the components, basic components of security in networking or securing any kind of data, that same applies to the cloud. So whenever there is a question that how can you secure your cloud, what kind of security component should be there for a cloud, you can simply say that you need to uh, hide your data, keep data and resources hidden. Like other one is integrity. So that means data integrity should be there, that whatever sender is sending and whatever receiver is receiving, that should be same and authenticated. We can say integrity means origin integrity. Origin integrity. So origin integrity includes authorization or authentication. What does origin on integrity mean? Anyone from the class, what is origin integrity? We say the
Authentication means
data should be having a integrity. What does origin integrity means? Origin integrity means that from the source and to the destination, the data should be authenticated. It is coming from the right source. That is called origin integrity, and that is called authentication. Data should be authenticated. That is called authentication. And the last one is availability. So whenever we are securing the data, that also include the third kind of a component, that is availability of data. That is the third, availability of our data. Availability means enabling access to data and resources. Enabling access to data and resources in a secured environment. That is called availability. So the three components will be in the case of cloud will be also confidentiality, integrity, and in integrity we should have a data integrity and origin integrity, and the last one is availability. Availability allows enabling access to data and resources. Next is, what are the, according to you or according to uh, a system of securing the data. What are the different kinds of, we can say, the security attacks are there. Security attacks in computer networks, that applies to cloud also. The first, and first of all, what is an attack? Any action that compromises the security of information. So that is compromised. What is compromised? Data, or we can security. Security of the data is being compromised, and that is called security attack. So we have different types of attacks in computer networks in securing our data, we can say. Those includes, first is interruption, number two interception, third is modification, modification, and the fourth one is fabrication, fabrication. So when whenever a security of data or anything is being compromised, that is, we know, that is called attack. And the various attacks I have written here, there are four types of main attacks. One is interruption, interception, modification, and fabrication. What does these mean? इनका मतलब क्या है? First is interruption. So interruption is, we know, whenever we are sending data from a source to destination, that does in a cloud environment. Suppose this is the cloud, and source is here, and destination is here. So you can see in the diagram here, source has sent some kind of data, but is not received by the receiver, destination. Interruption is attack on availability. Whatever you are sending is being attacked by someone. That is called interruption. That is called interruption. Now next is interception. Interruption means availability khatam kar deni. That means that it will not be available to the destination. But in case of interception, number two, this is the second attack, and this is source, and here it is destination, and this is cloud. Suppose it is attack on confidentiality. You are sending the confidential data, and there is some kind of interception, I, and this intercepted person, or the jo bhi hai, it is able to see your information, intercept your information. That is attack on confidentiality, we can say. Attack on confidentiality. Next is third kind of attack we know is modification. Modification. What does this modification mean? Suppose S source is just sending to the destination, and in between source and destination there is some intruder who's modifying that data. So S, whatever S has sent is not received by D, destination. It is something else that is received by D. That is called modification. And that is attack on, this will be called as attack on, modification means attack on integrity. Integrity. That is data integrity डाटा का इंटीग्रिटी and origin integrity, from where it is originally coming, origin integrity. So modification leads to attack on integrity. This is also we can say the security attack, and it affects the integrity of the system. And next is fabrication. Fabrication means what is fabrication? Source no has not sent anything.
मैम एक दो स्टूडेंट वेटिंग रूम में
वेटिंग रूम में, लेट देम वेट टुडे. क्या कहती है क्लास? एक दो नहीं है, देयर सो मेनी आर देयर. संतोष, रूपाली कुमारी, ऋत्विक, अवदेश, विधान,
मैम
अमित.
टाइम चेंज हुआ है, सर को पता नहीं ना था.
Why not? It was sent by Vinod sir in every group. रूपाली, टाइम चेंज नहीं पता था? अब देश नायक कब आया? देश
मैम हमेशा टाइम चेंज होता रहता है, पता ही नहीं चलता.
चलो कोई बात नहीं, आज की हम आपका मान लेते हैं प्रॉब्लम थी. So we were discussing the attacks. The students who have just joined, मैं उनको एक बार repeat कर देती हूँ. But whatever we have discussed till now, the basic components of security, that is, we have discussed about confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And in case of confidentiality, we know that we are to keep the data and resources hidden. That is called confidentiality of any system. And that is related to the security of our data in the data that is at rest. Because earlier, whatever we were discussing was security of our data that was at rest, or we can say in a network. But today we are discussing from the point of view of the cloud security. So the basic components of security will remain the same, whether it's a cloud or a data on your system. Further, we will move toward how we can secure the data in transit. In transit means whenever we are sending from one source to destination. So first is confidentiality, next is integrity, and third is availability. We know integrity means to keep data integrity. That involves some kind of authentication from where data is coming to the and where it is going. And next is availability. Availability means enabling access to data and resources. So these were the basic components. After discussing those basic components, we were discussing security attacks. Anything that compromises the security of information, we called it as security attack. And we have four types of attacks. We have discussed the three security attacks. One is interruption. Next is interception. Third is modification. And fourth is this, we were discussing the fabrication. Interruption means, interruption is an attack that is associated with the attack that is on availability, and interception is attack on confidentiality, and the modification is attack on which? Attack on integrity. And now we were discussing this fabrication. So fabrication means fabricating that I am the right user, I am the source. So whenever source wants to send data to the destination, but there may be a possibility that source is not sending anything, but this intruder is fabricating himself that I am the source and it will send the data to the destination. That may be wrong. So that is called fabrication. So that is, can you give an example of fabrication? In your case, like you are receiving any fabricated kind of data or any attack on, we can say this is an attack on authenticity, because data is not authentic. Attack on authenticity. Any such example you can quote here from the class? आप क्लास में से कोई एग्जांपल, कोई स्टूडेंट हु कैन गिव एन एग्जांपल like attack on authenticity? Sometimes we are receiving some mails and if it appears to us that they are coming from the the right person, but they are actually malicious, they are fictitious, they are not right. कोई गलत ही ऐसे मेल्स फिशिंग कर रहा है ना, भेजी जा रहा है, and you are to click that link, and whenever you are clicking on this the link that is available in the mail, but you are getting this, you feel like your system is infected with some malware or anything else. That is authenticity. Like they are appearing that they are appearing that कि मैं ये बंदा हूँ, I am the right person, I am sending you mail, but आप जब click करते हो you realize that you have received some kind of misinformation or such thing. That is attack on authenticity. Now next is classes of threats. Next heading is classes of threats. Classes of threats. So there may be different kinds of threats like disclosure, number 2, deception, number 3, disruption, and fourth one is usurpation. Usurpation. It may be pronounced as usurpation. So first is disclosure. Disclosure is related to a threat related to we can say disclosing any confidential information. Disclosing information, or we can say snooping. You might have heard about the word called snooping. Getting some confidential information, disclosing some confidential information is called.
Hello.
Next is.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, who is speaking?
मैम वैभव, गुड मॉर्निंग मैम। रोहित प्रसाद आउट हो गया है इसे, तो उसको ज्वाइन कर लीजिए।
ओके,
मैसेज कर। थैंक यू।
आई एम नॉट मैंने सेटिंग कोई चेंज नहीं की, अर्लियर सेटिंग वाज देयर, सो आई विल रिमूव दैट सेटिंग। उससे पता क्या प्रॉब्लम होती है, जो डिस्कनेक्ट हो जाता है, फिर they have to ask for joining again. So next is deception. Deception is something we want to modify. It's related to modification of the data, deception, or spoofing. As I told you, phishing and spoofing is there. People are sending spam mails again and again, and just you can click on the mail and you will be your system or anything will be infected with some kind of, we can say, laced with malware, we can say. So next is that is called modification. Deception includes modification, spoofing, and repudiation of origin. I already told you what is repudiation of origin. And next is denial of receipt. Denial of receipt. That is also part of, we can say, a threat related to deception. Denial of receipt. Next is disruption. Disruption means anything, you are modifying anything. So that is disruption. So that disruption includes modification of data. Modification. And usurpation involves modification, spoofing, delay, and denial of service. Modification, delay in sending the data, delay, or denial of service. So I'm again discussing these things: disclosure, deception, disruption, and usurpation. Disclosure, disclosing any kind of personal information or confidential information, and that concept is also called a kind of snooping into someone's private information. Next is deception. Deception includes modification, spoofing. So there is a difference between snooping and spoofing. So spoofing is something related to phishing. Phishing means sending again and again data, and so that the person feels like it is coming from a trusted user, but it is coming from some untrusted person, user, or source. Next is repudiation of origin, changing the origin. Next is denial of receipt. Next is disruption. Disruption means modification, and usurpation includes modification in the sending the data, whatever we are sending from source to destination, delay in sending the data, and denial of service. So these are some of the classes of threats in cloud computing. Next is policies and mechanism. Policies and mechanisms. Policies and mechanism. Next topic is policies and mechanism in cloud security. Says that what is and what not is allowed in cloud security. So in case of cloud security, what is allowed and not allowed, that should be there in the form of some policy guidelines. This defines the security of the for the site, system, etc. Because whenever we are talking about in terms of cloud, we are talking in terms of systems, we are talking in terms of sites, because number of systems connected with each other and doing some kind of work related to delivering or related to sharing of resources will will be called as site. यहाँ पे node है, cloud data center is there in one city, there may be a cloud data center in other country, in some third country, fourth country, 15th country. There are so many countries, and we know that the service provider has different data centers in various countries. So the policy mechanism is what is allowed, not allowed, and what that this defines the security for the site, system, etc. We need to define those policies and mechanism also. So whenever there is some kind of mechanism, The mechanism enforce policies. We need to set the mechanism of accessing data, and whatever mechanism is there, mechanism enforce various policies. So always remember one thing, there should be in the cloud security policies and mechanism can enforce the various policies for the cloud. So it also include the composition of policies. We can say we should have a composition of policies. Composition, one policy will not be sufficient for handling the cloud security. So there must be a composition of policies. If policies conflict, so there may be possibility that some policies are conflicting. And if policies conflict, discrepancies may create. It will result into discrepancies that may create security vulnerabilities. So while deciding any kind of policies or a composition of policies, we need to see if those policies or policies conflict, what kind of effect it will have on the security, because that will lead to security vulnerabilities. So that is a topic related to policies and mechanism. Now we are talking in terms of components, security threats. Now, goals of security in cloud. What are the various goals of security? What we can achieve? The goals of security include goals of security include prevention, detection, and recovery. These are the goals of security. We can prevent the attackers from violating security policy. Prevention include preventing attackers for attackers for violating security policies. Next is detection. Detection include detecting detection include detecting attackers. उनको देखना who can be the attackers in the cloud. Detecting attackers violating security policies, because these attackers may be a trusted user sometimes. So at one time they are trusted user, and when they are familiar with the system, they may attack. And the system should be such that security system should be such that we are able to detect such attackers who are violating the security policy. And third one is recovery. Recovery means if there is a security breach, we hope we can stop that attack. If there is a security breach, so security breach prevention, security breach prevention. Next is stopping that attack, or we can say access and repair the damage. Access and repair the damage. That is also a recovery. Or we can say continue to function correctly even attacks succeed. That means if the system is attacked by some kind of attacker, we are able to recover from the attack in the way that system does not get halt, and were able to succeed from that very attack, that is called recovery. So the goals of security is, so first we need to prevent, and we need to define the policies how we can prevent that attack. Next, if we are able to detect, so detecting attackers mechanism should be there, that we can the cloud service provider or is able to detect the violating security policies, who is violating the security policies in their system. And if it is being attacked, अब attack हो चुका हुआ है, we can prevent that, and we can access and repair that, or we can continue to function correctly when attack succeed. So that is also the goal of security. Now, trust and assumptions. Trust in cloud security, what are the various trust and assumptions? क्या हम assume करके चल रहे हैं cloud security में, and what need to be tested? Trust and assumption include all aspects of security. That includes what we have studied: policies and mechanisms. Trust and assumption includes policies and mechanisms, like policies like unambiguously partition system states. System state should be partitioned unambiguously. That should be one kind of policy. In a cloud, system state should be unambiguously partitioned. And we are able to correctly capture security requirement. That is also a kind of policy. Able to capture security requirements. That is also a policy. Mechanism include, we can assume to enforce a policy. We assume that any mechanism include assumed to enforce a policy. We need to enforce those policies, and support mechanism work, this policy mechanism work correctly. That should be our trust and assumptions. Now, whenever we are securing our data, or we are securing any kind of cloud, there are some operational issues associated with the security, cloud security. So the operational issues include operational issues include cost benefit analysis, risk analysis, next is, third is laws and customs. So first is cost benefit analysis. Why these are called operational issues in cloud security? So this cost benefit analysis will see, what it will see in cloud security is that, is it cheaper to prevent or recover? So this cost benefit analysis include, is it cheaper to recover or prevent? So if prevention involves more cost, So the organization may choose that if security effects, we can recover from that effect. So there are two options. Either that system can recover if attack occurs, or either the system can prevent that attack. So cost benefit analysis includes to see whichever leads to minimum cost. That is called whichever is cheaper, it will select whether it's recovery or prevention. So that is included in the cost benefit analysis of cloud security. Next is risk analysis. So the risk analysis is, should we protect some kind of data or something, and how much should we protect this thing? So risk analysis means how much risk is involved. So there may be we can say some kind of metric involved related to measure the risk. Risk को measure करने के लिए they may be using some kind of metrics, risk related metric, so that they can analyze the risk, how much risk is involved in storing a particular kind of data. Should we protect something, or should we, if it affects, how much it will affect, how much it will, there will be a risk if attacker attack on some kind of confidential data that is on the cloud. So that risk analysis is something related to, we can say, operational issue. This is an operational issue related to a risk, or we can say uh, uh, we need to define the metrics for those assessing those risks. Next is laws and customs. So whatever this laws and custom include, we are applying policies and mechanisms on the data, on the on the cloud for securing. So we need to see, our desired security, our desired security measures, हम जो डिजायर करना चाहते हैं सिक्योरिटी मेजर्स, द सिक्योरिटी मेजर्स वी आर डिजायरिंग आर लीगल, are legal or illegal. So we need to see this kind of laws and policies related to, we can say, related to judiciary or some kind of administration. The what we are enforcing is the security measures we are enforcing, whether they are into, we can say, lies in the boundary of that particular country's law or not, where there is some kind of, we can say, data center associated or data center deployed. So such kind of things are, whether we need to see whether they are legal or illegal. And we need to see, will people who are accessing those services, will people who are accessing those services are will do those things, uh, will do prevent those things or not, will do accept those security measures or not that are part of customs. Because if we say people should see, to secure anything or prevent anything from breach, that is something related to their customs they have from, we can say, place to place, or we can say, from country to country. Next is, with the cloud security, there are some, these were the operational issues. Now we'll discuss the human issues. Human issues. So human issues include human issues. So human issues include or organizational problems or people problems. So human issues include organizational problems organizational problems. Number 2, people problems. So we'll be discussing these things, the organizational problems and people problems. Before that, let's have one poll here, quiz related to to this security attacks. Kindly answer these questions. Still students are pending. Kindly answer these questions. First is keeping data resources hidden in cloud is called, whether it's called confidentiality or integrity. Next is मैम ऋत्विक गलती से लेफ्ट हो गया. ओके यहाँ पे है ही नहीं वेटिंग लिस्ट में ऋत्विक. नेक्स्ट इज attack on availability is called interruption or interception. Kindly mute yourself. If I found anybody who is discussing or talking in this class, I'll remove that from the person from the group. So keeping data and resources hidden in cloud is called, whether it's called confidentiality or whether it's called integrity. Other one is attack on availability is called, what is it is called, whether it's interruption or interception. So I am ending poll. First question is keeping data and resources hidden in cloud is called confidentiality. And other one is attack on availability is called interruption. These are answers to these questions. Next. Next is we were discussing organizational human issues. So this human issues include organizational problems and people's problem. So organizational problems include uh, the power of that very organization, or we can say power and responsibility of that very organization. It also include organizational problems, what financial benefits it will be getting from securing the cloud, financial benefits. So that these are organizational problems. Next is people problems. So the people problems include uh, outsider and outsiders and insiders, outsiders and insiders, and insiders. It also includes social engineering. So these are the, we can say, human issues associated with the cloud security. I'm repeating, there are two human issues. Human issues means whether that is particularly with the single person, or we can single person having an organization, or it is with the organization. Like if it is some kind of organization, it includes power and responsibility. And on the other hand, if a people problem will include who are the outsiders, who are the insiders, who have access to what kind of information and data, and also the social engineering part. So these are the human issues. Now attack attack on the confidential data. We have studied various types of attacks like passive and active attacks. Can anybody explain me what are those active and passive attacks? Or should I discuss the various attacks? Generally, two types of attacks are there. One is
Active and passive.
active, act- active. Other one is passive. So we'll discuss this active attack and we'll come towards the passive. Active attack is something that involves some kind of modification of the data stream or the creation of the file stream. Modification of the data stream or creation of false stream. Whatever there is a data stream that is modified, or any false stream is being created, that is, this kind of attack is called active attack. On the other hand, passive attacks means obtaining information or obtaining information. We'll study that. That is a kind like eavesdropping. Eavesdropping. So active attack is modification of the data stream or creation of false stream. Passive is obtaining any kind of information. So in case of active attacks, there are four categories. Active attack have four categories. That is, first is masquerade, masquerade. Next is number 2 is replay, replay. Number 3, modification. Modification. And the 4th one is denial of service. Denial of service. Denial of service. So first, masquerade. Masquerade means when one entity pretends to be a different entity. We have seen such cases when person or an organization who is receiving data and it appears that it is coming from an authenticated user, but it is from some untrusted person or organization. So that entity uh, who is behaving something else or pretending something else, this kind of concept is called masquerading. Next is replay. Replay means passive capturing of data units and its subsequent transmission. This involves a passive capture of a data, this replay of a data unit and its subsequent transmission to produce an unauthorized effect. To produce unauthorized effect. Not authorized, unauthorized effect. Next is modification. We have discussed some portion of the limited message is altered. हम कोई limited message receive करें and we feel that this is something, the data is somewhere modified. That is the concept of, and that attack is modification attack. Next is denial of service. This means preventing the normal use of communication facilities. Preventing normal use of communication facilities, that is denial of service. So these are the 4 categories of active attacks. Now the passive attack. As I told you, the passive attack is basically obtaining information that is being transmitted. So whenever it is being transmitted and getting that information, obtaining that information, that is called passive attack. I have not written here the attack, passive attack. So this involves the release of message contents and traffic analysis. It has 2 types: release of message content, release of message content, and it involves traffic analysis. So release of message content mean something, sometimes it may be desirable to prevent the opponent from learning the content of the transmission. So prevention of those transmission content is release of message content, comes under release of message content. And traffic analysis, the opponent can determine the location and identity of communication host. So traffic analysis, this passive attack happens only when we are able to see which is the source, which is the destination, what will be their communication path, and traffic analysis, under finding those traffic analysis, how they are going to communicate, what is their identity of communication host, and observing the frequency and length of messages being exchanged between source and destination. So that is related to traffic analysis. So whenever we are dealing with the passive attack, there is kind of term called traffic analysis that lead to passive attacks, so that the opponent will determine the location and identification of communication host. So we can see these are the communication hosts, and opponent will see their their communication, their identity, their location, their frequency of messages exchanged, the length of those messages that are part of the active and these passive attacks. So next is, these passive attacks are very difficult to detect. मैसेज पढ़ो अपना मत. So these are the passive attacks, and passive attacks are very difficult to detect. Now, the various security services in cloud. Next comes the security services in cloud. Before moving toward the security service, well, let's have one poll here. Attacks on confidentiality is whether it's interception or interruption. Next is goals of security is to prevent attacks from various attacks from violating security policies continue to function properly even if attack succeeds. So the questions are attack on confidentiality, whether it's called interception or interruption. Other one is goals of security is to prevent attacks from violating security policies. Or the number two is continue to function properly even if attacks succeed. Last 20 seconds. So attacks on confidentiality is called interception, and other one is goal of security is to prevent attackers from violating security policies and to continue to function properly even if attacks succeed. So this is true. This is the goal of security in case of cloud security, we can say. So these are the answers to these questions. Next is security services. This we know we have discussed those services. I'm not getting into detail of those services. The security services include having confidentiality. Confidentiality. This is one of the service. Confidentiality. Next is authentication. We are able to see who created and sent the data. That is authentication. Confidentiality must be there. Authentication must be there. Integrity. Next is non-repudiation. We cannot repeat that order. That order is final. That is non-repudiation. Next is access. We should have a list of in security services. Access control list. Access control. We are able to see who have control to which resources, so that we can prevent misuse of resources. That is comes under the heading of access control. Next is availability. When the data will be available. Availability. Availability includes uh, denial of service attacks and virus that deletes files. So these are the, we can say, the security services. These are the security services in the cloud. The role of security, we know that the role include maintaining integrity, maintaining confidentiality, uh, um, determination of whether or not an operation is allowed by a certain user, that is authorization of the person, safety protection against tampering, damage, and theft. These are the roles we can say for a security infrastructure. We have discussed all the attacks like social engineering, physical break-ins, theft, or password attacks, buffer overflows, command injections, denial of service, snooping, exploitation of faulty application logic, backdoors, etc. are the types of attacks we have discussed. Now, how this security mechanism works? What are the basic network security? Uh, what are the various steps for network security? Because if we are able to secure our network, we are able to secure our cloud. So, network security दिस नेटवर्क सिक्योरिटी में क्या क्या होना चाहिए, and in what way, or in what are the various steps for that. The first step, the network security work like this. Like we can say, first the determine first is to determine the network security policy. Next is, after determining a particular network security policy, implement. We'll discuss these things in detail. Implement network security policy. Third is recognize. अब ये क्या होता है? Reco will tell you that also. Recognize spelling देख लेना. Reco RECONNAISCE. Recognize. Next is vulnerability scanning. Vulnerability scanning.
Hello.
I know I have to admit Sanjay Khandelwal. Is that your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Vulnerability scanning. Next is number 5 is, I'm writing here, number 5, penetration testing. And if attack occurs, post-attack investigation. Post-attack investigation. Determine the network security policy, implement network security policy, recognize vulnerability scanning, penetration testing, post-attack investigation. First, determine the security policy. This step involved determining the security policy includes a security policy is basically a full security roadmap. It is not a simple policy or 2 or 3 line policy. It includes this security policy include usage policies for networks, servers, etc. I'm deleting all these things, only there will be a single step, that is determining the network policy. This includes usage policies for networks, policy for network. Next is network, server, systems, sites, everything. उनके लिए क्या policy है? User training about password sharing, password strength. It includes user training of password sharing and password strength. It also includes social engineering, privacy, etc. And what is the privacy policy for all the maintained data. Suppose there is some maintained data. So we need to see in this determining the network security policy also include, this includes privacy policy of the maintained data. I am writing here privacy policy of the maintained data. Next is and a schedule for, fourth point is a schedule for updates, auditing, etc. Fourth is schedule for updates and auditing, etc. This is also comes under the heading of network security policy roadmap. And this security policy also includes the network design, and network design should reflect the policy. We can say that whatever the network design is, whichever network design is, network design should, we can say this network design should reflect the policy. It should reflect the policy we have designed. Policy include network, server, sites, location, user training, password sharing, password strengths, privacy policies of all the maintained data, and schedule for updates, audit, and it should reflect the this policy. Like how can it should reflect the policy? This includes the placement and protection of database and file servers, where we need to place the databases and file servers. The location of demilitarized zones, delimited zones, they are called DMZ zones. अब आगे मैंने पहले भी whenever we were discussing AWS, there was DMZs. These are militarized zones basically, and the placement of and rules of firewalls, where we need to place those firewalls, etc. That is also comes under the heading of network design. And this includes the deployment of intrusion detection system, where we need to deploy the intrusion detection system. That is also part of network design, and this network design should reflect the security policy. So determining security policy is includes two things. So from that we can say it includes two things. One is we need to have a full security roadmap, and other is network design. In roadmap, we include usage policies for network, server, user training about password sharing, password strength, social engineering, privacy policy for all the maintained data, and a schedule for updates. And in this was related to roadmap of the network. And in design, first we need to have a roadmap, and in other way, next way we have network design. So network design should decide where we need to place the database file servers, the location of demilitarized zones, DM zones, DMZ zones, demilitarized zones, the placement of rules of firewalls, where we need to place the firewalls, and the deployment of intrusion detection system. Next is implementing security policies. Implementing security policies first we need to see the security policy in the form of roadmap and designing. That is, we can say this designing is drafting anything, but implementing means deploying those things. So implementing security policy, this is a second step in security policy. Implementing security policy includes installing and configuring firewalls, installing and configuring firewalls, and installing and configuring IDs, installing and configuring IDs. So installing and configuring firewalls includes like we have so like IP tables is a common firewall configuration for Linux. IP tables we use for Linux. This we can install that IP tables that is used in cloud computing, or we can have rules for incoming packet should also be created uh, in that firewalls. These rules should drop packets by default, and rules for outgoing packets may be created, like whatever leaving from that particular server or anything in the cloud. What are the rules for outgoing packets? What are the rules for incoming packets? So that we need to implement, that we need to set. This depends on your security policy. What will be the rules for sending outside packet, outgoing packet, and incoming packets? And this totally depends on what we have set as security policies. And installing and configuring of IDs include the various platforms from where we can get or upgrade IDs for several platforms. And there are some IDs who keep on sending alerts to log files regularly. So this installing and configuring IDs include where we can get the free IDs, like there is Snort is a free and upgradable IDs for several platforms. And most IDs send alerts to log files regularly, like uh, serious events can trigger like paging, email, telephone, etc. That should also be considered while installing and configuring IDs. So that is implementing security policy. In implementing security policies, we were discussing about firewalls that include applying filtering rules to packet passing through it. We can apply those rules. And the firewall comes in three major types: packet filter, stateful, and application proxy. So packet, whether we are going to deploy this packet filter, stateful, and application proxy, this packet filter will filter by destination IP, port, or protocol. um, that should be the concern. Packet filter, stateful, and application proxy. In packet filter, we can have filters by destination IP, port, or protocol. And in stateful records information about ongoing TCP sessions, and it ensures out of session packets are discarded. Next is application proxy. This act as a proxy for a specific application and can scan all layers of malicious data. Next is the installing and configuring of IDs. IDs are basically intrusion detection system. These includes uh, scanning the incoming messages and creating alerts when suspected scans attacks are in progress. So that is this involves scanning the incoming messages and creating alerts when suspected scan or attacks are in progress, and um, such kind of things are possible in case of implements while implementing security policies in a cloud environment. Next is there is one poll. We'll discuss poll here. Can you hear me? आवाज आ रही है? So first is when attack involves some modification of the data stream, whether it's active attack or passive attack. Next is determine the security policies. First step is network security. Is it true or false? Answer these questions. Still, students are pending who have not answered these questions. Mind it, the record will be maintained. This is your class response, and you will be, we can say, a kind of assessment will be made based on these answers. So your response is very much important. Kindly answer these questions. I'm repeating one when attack involves some modification of data stream, whether it's an active attack or a passive attack. Next is determine the security policy is first step in network security. So whether it's a true or false. ending poll here. When attack involves some kind of modification of data stream, that is active attack. Other one is determine the security policy is the first step in network security. Yes, it is true. This is the first step. So these are the answer to these questions. I am sharing the result here. So after implementing the security policy, next step is recognize. Recognize is something that is related to IP addressing, or we can say in which we learn about the network. So first we need to learn about the network, and then we need to see whether it's an active attack or a passive attack. Basically, reconnaissance is a uh, attack in which an intruder engages with the targeted system to gather information about vulnerabilities. So that can only be possible if the attacker learn about the network. So gathering information about the vulnerabilities is called reconnaissance attack. The attacker first discovers any vulnerable ports by using software like port scanning, etc. So reconnaissance means basically it involves two steps. First, learning about the network. First, we learn about the network. This is the third step. Reconnaissance attack. Reconnaissance attack. Reconnaissance. This includes first we learn about the network. About network. Next is finding the two forms of attack. Finding form of attack, or we can say implementing those attacks. Not finding, two types of attack. We can say two types of attacks. Seeing those two types of attacks. So learning about network involves IP addresses of the host network. This includes IP addresses of host network, host network, identifying identify key servers with critical data. Identifying critical servers with key servers with critical data. Next is IP address तो identify करना ही, need to identify the services running on those host servers. Services running on host servers. This is a third thing. And the fourth is vulnerabilities on those servers. So finding IP addresses, identifying key services. Third is services running on those host servers. And the fourth one is vulnerabilities on those services. Vulnerabilities on those servers. That is the fourth part of this. First, we'll learn about the networking. Next is finding two forms of attack, passive and active. Passive reconnaissance is undetectable basically, and active reconnaissance is often detectable by active is determined by active is detected by this IDS. Active attacks are detected by IDs. IDs is intrusion detection systems. Intrusion detection systems. So this is all about reconnaissance. Next step is vulnerability scanning. So fourth step is vulnerability scanning. This vulnerability scanning means now we know a list of hosts and services. So we can now target those services for attacks. So we need for vulnerability scanning, we have to target and see whether it is working according to the requirement. We have a list of servers, hosts, and services, and having a list of hosts and services, what we need to see is we need to target those services for attacks. Target those services for attacks. There are scanners for checking the vulnerabilities, for detecting the vulnerabilities. So we can deploy those scanners, deploy scanners and they will produce a risk report. Risk report will be produced. So next is there will be some scanners that will allow you to exploit them. there will be other scanners that will allow you to exploit them. These scanners will find ways in and allow you to choose the payload to use. They may obtain a root shell or download a package. That kind of things will be there in case of other scanners that are going to exploit them. And basically, a payload is the code that runs once inside. The next is the best scanners are updatable. Updatable means we are able to update for finding the new vulnerability. ऐसे scanners होने चाहिए. We should have those scanners. Best scanners will be who are updatable. Means who are able to find new vulnerabilities. Scan new vulnerabilities. New vulnerabilities. Like NASL, Nessus Attack Scripting Language. This is a kind of scanner or plugin that we use, and then that is updatable. मतलब इसको update कर सकते हैं. NASL. I'm writing here NASL. Nessus Attack Scripting Language. Nessus Attack Scripting Language. Nessus Attack Scripting Language. This is a scripting language, a scanner for vulnerability scanning. Now next come the fifth step, that is in the network security. Policy, that is penetration testing. Step 5. Penetration testing. First was determining the network security policy. Number 2 was implementing the network security policy. Third was reconnaissance. Fourth was क्या था fourth? What was fourth? Vulnerability scanning. And fifth is penetration testing. So after we have identified vulnerabilities, now we can exploit them to gain access. So penetration testing, we have studied this testing in software engineering also. The basic aim of penetration testing is getting into detail of the code or something related to that is very much skewed, and we can say in the form of we need to penetrate and find whether we can penetrate into the system or not. And that concept is called penetration testing. So we have identified vulnerabilities. Now next is to exploiting, and we are exploiting those vulnerabilities. In the previous step, we have also done vulnerability kind of scanning. Now in case of penetration testing, we can exploit them to gain access using frameworks. This is simply as selecting a payload to execute, or otherwise we manufacture and exploit. So penetration testing includes exploiting to gain access, और हमने एक exploit ही तैयार कर लिया. A kind of we can manufacture and exploit. We can, if not available, we can manufacture, exploit. So we may also have to try to find a new vulnerability. We'll also always try to find new vulnerabilities using penetration testing. This involves writing code or testing function accepting user input. So So basically, this involves writing your code and testing again for checking how much penetration is possible, what level of penetration is there for in the case of finding the uh, vulnerability, whether security vulnerability is possible or not, which level of security is there. These things are comes under the heading of penetration testing. Next step is post-attack investigation. After this step fifth is post-attack investigation. Post-attack investigation. This is the sixth step. Post-attack investigation. This involves forensic of attacks. We have studied forensic of attacks. Need to see forensic forensics of attack and uh, retaining the chain of evidences. ये आपने पिछले टॉपिक में पढ़ा है फोरेंसिक क्या है रिटेनिंग chain of evidences chain of evidences. So forensic of attack mean the forensic of attacks involve something that is related to, we can say, the law, like uh, uh, this is basically done by third party. We have discussed the forensics. How forensics are possible in digital computers, in the simple single species, as well as in the cloud environment. We have studied about the cloud forensics too. And retaining the chain of evidence is must. Uh, the evidence in this case is data or the host on the host, and the log files of the compromised host hold the footsteps and fingerprints of the attacker. If there is any kind of footsteps or fingerprints of the attacker, we need to record that also. We need to keep the record of that also. But if it is compromised in such a way, we need to have log files of the compromised host also. Every minute with that host must be accounted for. If whenever there is a kind of you are finding the evidences, in that case every minute with that host must be accounted for. And for legal reasons, you should examine a low level copy of the disk and not modify the original level. So you need to maintain the copy of the uh, uh, those evidences, and you should not modify the original evidences. You need to retain the copy as well as the original, so that you can show the original evidences in the code for after attack, post attack investigation. So these were all steps related to uh, network security in the cloud. I am repeating those steps. Determining the network security policy. Next is implementing network security policy. Reckoning vulnerability scanning, penetration scanning. Next is post-attack investigation. So the last step was post-attack investigation. In the next lecture, we'll be studying new risks in cloud and multi-tenancy, attack models, threat models, and some of the questions related to EC2, as well as cloud encryption in the next lecture. With that, now there will be one poll here. Post-attack investigation involves forensic attacks. Is it true or false? Still, students have not answered this question. I'm repeating, post-attack investigation involves forensic attacks. What is this forensic attack? Cloud forensic पढ़ा है? Have you studied cloud forensic term? कभी पढ़ी थी, कभी सुनी थी? Anyone from your class? Vivek, Harnoor, Harsimarjit. What is cloud forensic? Rohit?
मैं नहीं पढ़ी.
So the answer to this question is post-attack investigation involves forensic attack. Yes, this is true. Anji, Rohit, I am asking from you, what is cloud forensic? Have you studied cloud forensic? Are you getting my
Ma'am,
voice or not?
yes, ma'am. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. मैंने
आपकी
इस
नहीं आ रही
टर्म के
आवाज
बारे
मुझे
में.
रोहित.
Hello. Hello.
Not getting your voice.
Okay, ma'am. I can
We
test.
have studied cloud forensic. In that we have studied how we can apply rules and regulations. What are the various steps to report the evidences, to note, jot down those evidences. What are the advantages and disadvantages related to cloud forensic? I'll see whether this slide is available here. We'll do a kind of revision if possible. We have studied the various challenges related to cloud forensic, like legal regulations, uh, record retention policies, identity management is there in cloud forensic. Uh, you need to remember these things like continuously overwritten logs, admissibility, privacy, cloud forensic, and all these things. So in the next lecture, we will continue this cloud security as well as encryption and decryption. What are the various algorithms we can use for encrypting and decrypting our data on the cloud, as well as some of the software that are storing our data in some way or the other, or we can say messages we are exchanging in the cloud, and how we can encrypt the data that is there in the cloud. What are the ways we can store our data on the cloud using encryption and decryption techniques, or we can uh, deploy those techniques. That will also be that topic will also be discussed. I'm ending this session here.